Hi, I'm Amy, and I'm with GameSkinny here at PAX 2013, and I'm joined by Courtney and Dan, the husband and wife team behind Lunchtime Studios, who are now on Kickstarter with their upcoming game, Lords of New York. And I have to say, as I walked in yesterday to the exhibitor hall, this booth really caught my eye. You guys have some stunning art and some really amazing design elements going on. Talk to me about what the experience of this game is going to be.
Oh, so thanks. So Lords of New York is a 1920s Prohibition era mafia story.
Love it.
So in this RPG, you end up playing 1 to 3 characters that have very unique storylines, and what they are is it's sort of a thank you. It's sort of a blend between it's almost like Boardwalk Empires meets Rounders. So you are a poker superstar. You play one of these 3. And we give you poker abilities that match your character. So, for example, if you play a Mafia Captain Vincent, you end up being able to cheat and intimidate and do things in poker that no other poker game allows you to do. If you play Veronica the Reporter, people like you. You have great intuition,
charming charisma.
Exactly.
Oh,
you retells, all that kind of stuff. So everything. It's like poker with these like talents, basically.
I can honestly say I think this is the first time I've ever been interested in playing a game of online poker or even digital poker. I mean, really, normally I don't find that compelling, but this sounds like poker with an edge. I'm not very good at poker, so the concept of getting some character-style edge to the game is very appealing to me.
That's good. Yeah, I mean, the same thing I think like what Rounders did for poker, we hope to do for people who aren't sure they want to play on poker.
Yeah.
It's like now you're playing poker against AIs. My background is in doing artificial intelligence, so it fits really well. But at the heart of what we do is story.
Yeah.
So at first it's an adventure game. So it's a little bit like, the old Shadowrun had 2 worlds. One was the real world, one was the Matrix.
Yep.
So we have the adventure game, which is in Manhattan, New York City, with all kinds of story and drama and intrigue. And then you've got the poker, which is your combat system. So when you play boss battles, they're all about that.
Oh, that is so cool.
And it's not just like I'm playing poker to win money, right? I'm playing poker because the boss wants you to take out revenge on this guy, or maybe the guy, you get there and he gives you a sob story, so you're trying to like figure out, do I disobey the boss and what happens? And so it's everything serves a story. It's not just go play poker and earn money. Maybe you all just need to stall. Maybe you just need to make the guy happy and lose a lot of money to him. So. That's
really cool. I love the twist you guys are putting on it. It actually makes me care about the card game. That's pretty sweet. So talk to me a little bit about the design elements. Why did you choose this particular era? And talk to me about designing these fabulous characters.
Well, I love the era. So 1920s for me is one of its most unique decades in history. I find that, the Prohibition style, I mean, Prohibition really spawned a whole bunch of change in our culture. And, for me, obviously the poker, jazz, bootleggers, gangsters, it's all like the life of the party, the roaring 20s. So, I don't know if this would have fit any better in any other era than 1920s.
That's
really
wonderful.
Also, I love the style of the 1920s, and I love the music. I feel like, sometimes I feel like I lived in the 1920s in a previous life because I love that music so much. And it's like a lot of people today, they've never heard it. They don't know the fashion. They don't know the slang. And so it's nice to share that with people, a new group of people that maybe never would have heard any of that anymore. So trying to find some of the older music in public domain so that we can bring that into the game as well.
That's really cool.
It's been really fun.
I love that as an expression of your love for that particular era. That's a really powerful thing.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
A lot of inspiration from real historical things like, Poisoner's Handbook is a forensic science in the 1920s, New York City. So just reading about that era, there's so many crazy things that happened that we just never believe, and you'd be able to say, I want to work the kind of what, not exactly the events that happened, but be somewhat historically true to where the areas were, what the time was like, and all kinds of elements from the 20s.
Excellent.
Also, we recently discovered that our character Veronica is a reporter, which, women holding jobs in the 1920s was not a very common thing. They didn't even have the right to vote and stuff like that. So we just recently found out that there was a reporter in the 20s who was a woman who was, working really hard to kind of break ground and become a famous reporter. And that's kind of what she's trying to do. Her ambition is to get the story on the mafia that propels her, to get respect from, a male-dominated industry. So
that's excellent. Cool. That's great that you found that historical reference for the character you created.
It was a happy accident.
Wonderful. Yeah. So you guys are on Kickstarter now, right?
Kickstarter, yep.
Yep. Excellent. And
about April 16th.
Okay, that was my next question. And then if everything goes well on the Kickstarter, when do you anticipate the game being ready?
Summer 2014, so about a year and a half.
Excellent.
But anything can happen. If we exceed our stretch goals, we have more resources on the project, get it done early. For us, what's important is our background is in AAA games, doing big stuff. So we want to bring that same scope and quality to indie games and not say, well, we don't have much resources, so we don't want to necessarily, we still want to make big games. And so we actually invented our own animation techniques and technology so that we could do that, bring lots of facial expressions to poker, lots of big expressions to the story element too. So things that would have difficulty fitting on like a mobile platform before, we can now do it because of the innovation that we did in animation.
So you talk about mobile platforms. What platforms do you anticipate Lords of New York being good on?
So I built my own game engine, so it's great. So I can put it really to anything we want. So our first thing is Mac, PC, iOS. So that's what it works on today. But we certainly we're looking into things like Nintendo, looking into Android, want to do Ouya. We want to do any place, a Surface, any place that the customers demand this product, we're going to port it. It takes me about a month of time to port things, but depending on the difficulty, but certainly our goal is to take our engine, which is really big at this point, to all the different platforms. So
excellent. So if I swing by the booth, is there a playable demo I could get into? Excellent. We'll take care of it.
Yep, you can play poker as Vince.
Oh, nice. Always wanted to be a Vince.
And Mitzi's an unlockable character, hopefully.
But, all right.
We're trying to make a 5-minute demo. It turned into 30 minutes with hundreds and hundreds of voice acting clips, and it's like, oh my gosh. We get so wrapped up in the story.
He did 2 or 3 of the voices in the game.
Nice. Very cool. Well, I will stop by and check it out, and thanks so much for spending time with us and telling everyone about the game.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.